All right, look, hey, I got a question for you. All right, now, hey, we talk about the team when you were a senior, I was a freshman, that 2001, 2002 team. Who do you think were the two strongest guys on that team?
Two strongest
If you
guys
don't give
on
me the right answer on this, Brett, I'm gonna cut you off too.
the strongest. Like you talking about like what kind of strength are we talking about?
You could go pound for pound strongest. Like, who are the two strongest guys on that team?
Oh man.
Because like whoever it was probably putting in extra work in the work
So
in
you
the
want me to
workout,
say
man.
you? Are you wanting me to? Are you setting me up to
No,
say that you were one of the strongest guys
hey,
as an incoming freshman?
because I know it wasn't me, man. I know I was getting out early.
Mike Lee was pretty strong, but that because he had that football body, man. Mike Lee
All
came
right,
in.
man. Look, hey, so look, here we go. I told you I'm gonna cut you off on this one, man. Heck no. And I don't even know if you know this, but I tell this story, and I've been telling it for, man, the last 10, 15 years. So during that stretch, man, you and Kirk, I don't care what you say, you and Kirk were the strongest two on that team. You guys are always in the weight room. And I always tell people, weren't the biggest. Yeah, Mike Lee, man. And Mike Lee, no, man. Mike Lee had all the big muscles.
He looked the part, didn't he?
Yeah,
My
he
guy
looked
Mike.
the part, man. But the strongest guys, we're not saying the physically biggest guys, the two strongest guys were you and Kurt. I mean, I tell that story all the time, man. Brett, you can try to deny it all you want.
I don't know about that. I appreciate that.
No,
I do.
No, Brett.
I will say this.
You and Kirk, man. I tell that story still to this day.
Kirk was an elite athlete. I will say this. So when I first got there, I got there in the summer. Jonas Duration was our strength coach, and I'd go in every day. And there's no question that the weight room helped me. Like I needed to get quicker and more athletic. And still to this day, I talk to our players. You can really get better in there. But I got a funny story that kind of relates to that. So we had conditioning. It was probably your freshman year. So we went to the football stadium, had conditioning. And so we were running on the turf, right? And so we had groups that were running, and we had to make certain times. And the assistant coaches had stopwatches that kept our time because there were so many guys running. Coach Holiday had my stopwatch. So we're running these sprints, and like each individual guy had a time he had to make based off of like their skill set, position, whatever. The big guys didn't have to make it as quick as the guards, whatever. So we're running, and like I'm pride myself in like being in great condition, whatever. Like I'm not the fastest guy, but I could, run and compete. So I run with my group. I finished like first or second my group. And Coach Holiday goes, "Oh no, Brett didn't make his time." And I'm like, "What?" Like I won my group. So I'm pissed. And I know it's because I love Coach Holiday, but he didn't know how to do the deal. So Coach Williams is there that day. He chews me. I have to run again. And I know in my mind, like I didn't mess up. So then fast forward, we go from that. We got to start at the bottom of the Campanile Hill. They put us in groups of 3, and you had to run from the bottom of the Campanile Hill to the cone at the very top. If you won your group, you were done. So your groups of 3, the guy that won it was done. The next 2 guys had a race, come back down and race. Whoever won that was done, and then the third guy had to run 3 times. So I'm pissed. I get put in a group with Kirk and Jeff Oshie. So I'm mad, and this is right after. So I'm like, I'm gonna win this so I can be done for the day. So we take off running, and it's me and Kirk. Like I'm going full speed. It's me and Kirk. I glance back, and Jeff is chilling. Jeff Oshie's back there. He's like 20 yards behind from the beginning. All right, whatever. So I'm going. We get like 15 yards from the cone. I'm gonna beat him. Kirk kicks it into second gear. Goes cruising past me, beats me, without even like sweating. And so I'm dead. So we get up, and Jeff comes rolling up there like 10 seconds later, and he goes, "You didn't really think you're going to beat Kirk, did you?" And I was like, "Oh my!" So then we go back down to the bottom. He's fresh as a daisy. Jeff's fresh as a daisy because he didn't try hard on the first rep. He smokes me. Yeah, he smokes me on the second one. I got to run all 3 of those. It was a tough day for me, Hawk.
Please tell me you've talked to this about with Coach Holiday, man.
he comes up to me a couple days later, and I love Coach Holiday. He was great for me.
Yeah.
Because I think I might have messed up this. I said, no kidding. I know you messed up the stopwatch. Could you have said something when we were there? Like, it does me no good for you to tell me this now. So yeah, that was a tough day for me in conditioning.
That is hilarious. Well, I'm pretty sure it just made you only stronger because it was tough trying to beat you in any mile run, conditioning, doing 12 33s. I don't even think
that
you ever
advantage
put
on
your
you,
hands on you. Did you get tired, man?
No, that was you know, as it's, and you know it, as you're an upperclassman and you did it when those younger guys come in. That's your advantage, that mental toughness.
Yeah.
A little bit of it's physical, but more than anything, it's between your ears. Like when you're a freshman, you think you're tired all the time. When you're a senior, like you're not really tired. So with you and A Miles, man, that was my advantage. When you guys came in, I had played some as a junior.
Yeah.
I got in a scholarship, played in the NCAA tournament, played some pretty solid minutes. And so in my mind, I'm like, man, going to my senior year, I'm gonna play. I can remember your guys' class came in, you, Wayne, Aaron, Mike Lee, and Keith Langford. And the first time we played pickup with you guys in June, I was like, ooh, these guys are good. And for about 2 days, I was sulking because I was like, man, I don't think I'm gonna play with these guys. But then, like, admittedly flipped, like, man, we're gonna be good. Like, we're gonna be with the guys we got coming back, and with A Miles and Keith and you. And I was like, man, we got a chance to be special. So I you know, I had to compete, but I had a little bit of advantage early that I was in better shape. But I'm glad I didn't have to go against you when you were a junior senior.
Whatever,
that would have been ugly.
Whatever, man. Stop acting like you didn't have no locks on the defensive end. You still had breakdowns where you could get into the lane, create plays.
We could
Stop
hand check.
it, coach. Stop it, coach.
We could hand check. I utilize that hand check rule, but I'm struggling today.